The cavern at the cradle of the world's origin stretched before us like a cathedral carved by the earth itself, vast and echoing with the weight of millennia. Its walls shimmered faintly, the ancient glyphs pulsating softly as if breathing alongside the living map that rested on a stone pedestal at its heart. The air was thick with dust and anticipation, the scent of damp stone mingling with the sharp tang of gunmetal. Around us, Cross's paramilitary forces formed a tight ring, their weapons trained and eyes cold with ruthless intent. I stood beside the pedestal, my heart hammering not just with fear, but with the immense responsibility pressing down on me. The map's surface rippled beneath my fingertips, lines redrawing themselves in a hypnotic dance of shifting lands and cryptic symbols. This was the culmination of every step of this journey, the final gambit to secure the secret that could shape the world's fate. Elias, Lena whispered, her voice taut but steady as she crouched beside me, scanning the edges of the chamber for threats. Her sharp eyes flicked toward the advancing mercenaries, led by Captain Rourke, a grim reminder of the danger closing in. "We don't have much time." I nodded, swallowing the lump of dread rising in my throat. "Just a little longer. Malik, what do you have?" Professor Malik, his graying beard dusted with stone, was hunched over the inscriptions carved into the chamber's walls. He muttered translations under his breath, voice rising in excitement and frustration. "These glyphs, they speak of a balance, a covenant between the map and the world. To unlock its power fully, one must understand not just geography, but the essence of origin itself." "And you think I can do that?" I asked, glancing down at the living map, its glowing pathways beckoning yet elusive. "You must," Malik said firmly. "If Cross controls the map, the world will be reshaped in blood and iron." Suddenly, a roar shattered the tense silence. Captain Rourke signaled his mercenaries forward, and the chamber erupted into chaos. Lena was at my side in an instant, firing with precision, each shot ringing out and echoing against the stone as we fought to hold the line. The flicker of torchlight cast long shadows, the air charged with the clash of wills and gunfire. Amid the cacophony, I focused on the map, tracing its shifting lines, searching for the pattern Malik's words hinted at. Symbols arranged themselves like a puzzle, a living enigma demanding both speed and insight. My fingers trembled but did not falter. Cross stepped forward, his scarred face a mask of cold calculation. "Give me the map, Mercer," he said, his voice low and commanding. "You don't understand the power you're holding. It can bring order, real order, to a chaotic world. Order built on domination and fear." I shot back, meeting his icy gaze. "That's not the balance this map represents," he sneered, signaling his men to press harder. The ground beneath us vibrated as if the earth itself responded to the map's turmoil. Time blurred. Between the gunfire and the shifting earth, I pieced together the final secret. The covenant Malik spoke of was not just a key, but a warning. The map's power could only be wielded through harmony with the land's true nature, not through force. With a decisive motion, I traced the ultimate path on the map. The chamber brightened, glyphs glowing fiercely, and a pulse radiated outward. Cross's forces faltered, caught in an invisible grip of ancient power. "No!" Cross roared, lunging forward, but it was too late. The map's secret had been unlocked not to grant control, but to protect. The shifting lands responded, sealing the cradle from exploitation. Breathless and shaken, I looked at Lena and Malik. We had won this battle, but the war for the map's future was only beginning. "This is just the beginning," I said, voice heavy with both awe and dread. "The map will keep shifting, and so must we." As the echoes of conflict faded, I felt the weight of guardianship settle upon my shoulders. The world's origin was not a fixed point, but a living story, one I was now sworn to protect, no matter the cost. The dawn awaited, and with it, new paths and challenges. But for now, in this ancient cradle, we had held the line, and the map had chosen its guardian. The battle at the world's cradle was not merely one of bullets and brute force. It was a clash of ideals and intellect, a desperate gambit where every second counted. The living map, ever restless, was both a beacon and a burden, its secrets elusive yet vital. From the moment we descended into the cavern, the atmosphere was electric. The air was cool but heavy, filled with the scent of ancient stone and the metallic tang of anticipation. The walls bore the scars of time, etched with symbols that spoke of origins and balance, of power wielded wisely and the destruction wrought when ambition overreaches. Cross's forces were precise and deadly, their mercenaries moving with practiced efficiency. But they underestimated the bond forged between Lena, Malik, and me, a trio united by a shared purpose beyond mere survival. Lena's quick reflexes and combat prowess kept us alive, her sharp commands cutting through the chaos. Malik's frantic deciphering was our intellectual lifeline, his voice a thread pulling me through the labyrinth of meaning hidden in the glyphs. And I, the cartographer, was the key, my knowledge of shifting maps and patterns, the final piece in this desperate puzzle. The map's surface was alive beneath my touch, pathways glowing and fading, symbols rearranging in a mesmerizing dance. Each dawn had brought new revelations, new challenges, but this was the moment of truth. The map demanded understanding beyond the physical to grasp the essence of origin itself. As I traced the ultimate path, a surge of energy radiated from the pedestal, illuminating the chamber in a radiant glow. The earth trembled, ancient mechanisms awakening as if recognizing the rightful guardian. Cross's rage was palpable as his plans unraveled before him. His vision of domination, forged in the fires of loss and ambition, met the unyielding reality of the map's covenant. In the final moments, trust and sacrifice converged. Lena covered my back with unwavering resolve, Malik's insights illuminated the path, and I embraced the responsibility laid upon me. The map's secret was not a weapon, but a guardian's charge to protect the fragile balance of knowledge and power, history and future. As the echoes of battle faded and the dawn light filtered into the cavern, I stood resolute. The world would keep shifting, the map would keep redrawing itself, and I would stand watch, ever vigilant, ever ready. The final gambit was won, but the endless pursuit continued. The ancient city's stone walls trembled beneath the relentless assault, a cacophony of gunfire and shouted commands echoing through the labyrinthine corridors. Dust and smoke choked the air, mingling with the sharp metallic tang of blood and the faint scent of burnt wood. I crouched behind a shattered column, clutching the map tightly in my hands, its surface pulsing faintly with an otherworldly light that seemed to synchronize with the frantic beating of my heart. Around me, Lena's voice cut through the chaos, steady and commanding as she directed our scattered defenders. "Hold the eastern corridor! Malik, cover the rear!" Marco, Jade, coordinate the perimeter. Her orders were crisp, practiced. The battlefield was her domain now as much as mine was the map. Despite the pounding in my chest and the roaring in my ears, I forced myself to focus. The map's shifting paths were less erratic now, seeming to respond to the unfolding conflict, as if aware that the stakes had never been higher. I glanced over at Malik, who was hunched over a hastily drawn chart, his graying beard damp with sweat. His eyes, usually twinkling with eccentric enthusiasm, were sharp and intense. "Elias," he murmured, stepping closer, "the knowledge we've uncovered, this is not just ancient history. It's a legacy that demands guardianship. You must trust in us and in yourself." His words resonated deeply, cutting through the fog of doubt that had shadowed me since the first dawn I discovered the map's secret. Trust had always been my Achilles heel. The wounds of past betrayals lingered like shadows at the edge of my vision. But here, amidst the crumbling stones and the echo of battle, I felt the fragile threads of alliance binding us together. A sudden explosion rocked the chamber, sending a shower of dust and debris into the air. I turned just in time to see a group of Cross's mercenaries breaking through a weakened wall. The mercenary leader, Captain Rourke, snarled as he charged forward, his eyes like cold steel. The clash was brutal and immediate. Marco and Jade sprang into action, their movements synchronized from months of shared peril. Jade's fingers danced over her communication device, calling for reinforcements and relaying enemy positions, while Marco wielded his machete with practiced precision. But then chaos deepened. Lena intercepted an enemy soldier's blade meant for me, her body twisting instinctively to shield mine. The sickening sound of metal-piercing flesh cut through the din. She staggered, pain flashing across her face, but her eyes held fierce defiance.
"Keep moving, Elias!"
She gasped, voice strained but resolute. Time slowed. I dropped beside her, heart pounding, hands trembling as I pressed my coat against the wound. Around us, the battle raged on, but in that moment, all I could hear was the ragged rhythm of her breathing and the distant roar of conflict. "You're not leaving me," I said, voice unsteady. But she smiled, faint and fierce, before closing her eyes. That sacrifice pierced through my uncertainty like a blade. The weight of responsibility settled on my shoulders with unbearable clarity. I was not just a seeker of knowledge anymore, I was its guardian. I looked down at the map, its glow steady and unwavering, and felt a surge of resolve. "We hold the line," I called out, voice stronger now. "For Lena. For the map. For the truth." The defenders rallied, their spirits lifted by renewed determination. Malik's voice rose in rallying cries. Marco and Jade fought with relentless grit, and even as Cross's forces pressed harder, our unity forged a bulwark against the tide. Later, as the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded to a haunting silence, I knelt beside Lena's resting place. The map lay open on the stone floor, its shifting lines now calm, as if sensing the fragile peace. I traced the intricate pathways with a trembling finger, the journey ahead more daunting than ever. Yet in that moment of sorrow and triumph, I understood that trust, once my greatest vulnerability, was now my strongest weapon. And sacrifice, though bitter, was the price of protecting the fragile balance between discovery and destruction. The dawn outside was breaking, painting the sky with hues of gold and crimson. The map shimmered in the early light, revealing new paths, new secrets. And I, Elias Mercer, stood ready to walk them, no longer alone, no longer hesitant. The endless pursuit continued, but now I carried the weight and the hope of a guardian. The battle was far from over. But as I rose, steeling myself for the trials ahead, I knew one truth would guide me. Only through trust and sacrifice could the map's power be protected from those who would wield it for ruin. And I would fight to the last breath to ensure that legacy endured. The air in the cavern was thick with the scent of damp stone and ancient dust. The only sound the faint scratching of Elias's pen against parchment and the low murmurs of Professor Malik as he translated the faded inscriptions. Flickering torchlight danced over the walls, revealing worn glyphs and strange symbols that had resisted interpretation until now. Elias leaned closer, his heart pounding. "Look," Malik whispered, pointing to a sequence of markings that suddenly seemed to fit together like pieces of a puzzle. "This isn't just a map. It's a safeguard, a key to controlling the map's shifting power." Elias's breath caught. For weeks, they had chased the ever-changing paths, uncovering lost cities and evading Cross's relentless pursuit. Now, this revelation promised a turning point. The map was not merely a guide, but a device with a hidden mechanism, one that could be triggered to neutralize its power temporarily, preventing anyone from exploiting it, even Cross. Meanwhile, just beyond the labyrinth's rocky walls, Lena Dawes stood sentinel. Her sharp eyes scanned the dim passages leading into their hideout, muscles coiled like springs. The distant rumble of engines and muffled voices echoed, growing louder with every passing minute. Cross's forces were closing in fast, led by the ruthless Captain Rourke, whose tactical acumen had been a constant thorn in their side. Lena's grip tightened on her rifle, ready to face whatever came. Back in his command tent, General Victor Cross received the report that unsettled his very core. The news of Elias's latest discovery was more than a setback, it was a challenge to his vision of domination. His scarred face tightened, cold eyes flashing with a rare flicker of doubt. "If Mercer has found a way to disable the map's power," he muttered, "then our window is closing." We must adapt or lose everything. The usually unshackable strategist paced sharply, torn between his ambition and the reality pressing down on him. His soldiers readied for the final assault, but Cross's mind raced, reconsidering his options. For the first time, the man who believed in order through strength faced the fragile uncertainty of the unknown. As dawn crept in, Alias gathered his allies. The map's latest transformation had revealed a narrow passageway, barely visible in the fading light. Together they moved swiftly, their footsteps muffled by centuries of dust and stone. The carvings lining the walls spoke of balance of power that could unite or destroy depending on the wielder's intent. Elias's voice was steady but urgent. This is the moment we've been waiting for. If we can activate the mechanism here, we can buy ourselves time. Time Cross doesn't have. The first clash of battle erupted outside, distant but growing closer. Lena's signal crackled through their comms, her voice taut with tension. They're almost here. Get ready. With a deep breath, Alias traced the final symbols, aligning them with the map's shifting lines until a hidden compartment clicked open. Inside lay a complex device of ancient design, its purpose clear, now a control to dampen the map's shifting magic. Hands steady despite the chaos outside, Elias activated the mechanism. A low hum filled the chamber, the map's glowing paths dimming, its restless energy subdued. At that moment, the assault faltered. Cross's forces hesitated, their momentum broken. This fragile pause was their chance. Elias met Lena's eyes over the radio, hope flickering amid the dread. The turning point had arrived, but the battle was far from over. The secrets of the map were within reach, and so too was the fate of the world. Hold fast, Elias whispered to himself. The first light of dawn crept slowly over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of amber and rose, casting a gentle glow across the scarred landscape. Elias Mercer stood silently at the precipice of a cragged cliff, his breath pluming in the crisp morning air. Below him, the land stretched out like a vast, restless ocean of earth and stone, its contours subtly shifting even under the soft caress of sunlight. The battle was over. General Victor Cross and his paramilitary force had been defeated, their ambitions crushed beneath the combined resolve of Elias and his allies. Yet as Elias gazed across the mutable terrain, a profound and uneasy truth settled within him: the fight for the map's secret was far from finished. The map itself, that enigmatic living artifact, rested carefully unfurled on a weathered rock nearby. Its lines and symbols pulsed faintly, redrawing themselves with a rhythm as steady and mysterious as the tides. Elias's fingers hovered above the parchment, hesitating before tracing the delicate, shifting paths. Each shift told a story of ancient civilizations lost to time, of lands that rose and fell like the breath of the world itself, of secrets too powerful for any one person or nation to wield unchecked. Behind him, the soft murmur of voices drew his attention. Turning away from the cliff's edge, Elias descended the rocky slope to where a modest campfire crackled amidst a circle of worn stones. Lenador sat close to the fire, her sharp eyes softened by exhaustion but still alert, scanning their surroundings with the vigilance that had saved them more times than Elias could count. Beside her, Professor Harun Malik fumbled thoughtfully with his leather satchel, a few yellowed notes spilling onto his lap. Marco Silva leaned back against a log, his rugged face relaxed for the first time in days, while Jade Kim, ever watchful, tapped quietly on a compact device, monitoring distant signals. "We made it," Lena said quietly, her voice carrying a mixture of relief and wariness. She caught Elias's eye and offered a small, wry smile. "For now." Elias nodded, the weight of her words settling between them. "Cross is gone, but the map, it's still alive, still changing." Malik looked up, eyes gleaming with both passion and caution. "That's the enigma, isn't it? To protect something so mutable, so unpredictable. We've won the battle, but the war for understanding continues." The group fell into a thoughtful silence, the fire's flames flickering against the encroaching dawn. Outside the circle of light, the world remained a place of shadows and shifting secrets. As the morning wore on, Elias retreated to his tent, the quiet sanctuary he had come to rely upon. Inside, the living map lay spread out on a makeshift table. His lantern cast a warm glow over the parchment, illuminating the intricate patterns that danced across its surface. The map's latest transformation revealed a path leading beyond the known territories, toward a place whispered about in ancient texts, the cradle of the world's origin. Elias's brow furrowed as he considered the implications. This was more than a geographical journey. It was a challenge to his very understanding of history, reality, and his own place within it. His fingers traced the newly drawn lines, feeling the hum of latent power beneath the surface. Suddenly, a distant rumble echoed faintly through the tent walls. Elias paused, listening. The sound was subtle but unmistakable, the coming of a storm, perhaps, or a reminder that even in moments of calm, the world was never still. Steeling himself, Elias rose and stepped outside. The camp was quiet, save for the crackling fire and the steady breathing of his companions. At the perimeter, Lena stood watch, her silhouette outlined against the dense thicket beyond. Her eyes gleamed in the dawn light, scanning the horizon with a warrior's alertness. He approached her slowly. "We've earned this moment, but we must not forget what lies ahead," he said softly. Lena turned to him, her expression resolute. "The map will keep shifting. So will the dangers, but together we'll face whatever comes." Elias felt a surge of gratitude and determination. The journey had tested them all, forced them to confront their deepest fears, their betrayals, their doubts. Yet through it all, a fragile bond had formed, one forged in the crucible of shared struggle and hope. As the first drops of rain began to fall, mingling with the earthy scent of the waking forest, Elias looked once more at the horizon. The world was fluid, uncertain, and endlessly shifting. But within that flux lay the promise of discovery, the enduring quest for truth that defined the human spirit. He tucked the living map carefully into his satchel, the weight of responsibility settling comfortably on his shoulders. The storm was coming, but so was the dawn. And Elias Mercer was ready. The journey was far from over. The first light of dawn crept gently over the horizon, painting the jagged edges of the rocky outcrop with a soft golden hue. Elias Mercer stood alone, his eyes fixed on the ancient map spread out before him, its shifting lines glowing faintly in the cool morning air. The map pulsed with life, a living, breathing enigma that had become both his greatest burden and his most profound calling. He inhaled deeply, the scent of damp earth and wild flowers filling his lungs, grounding him amid the swirling tides of uncertainty that had come to define his existence. For years, the map had dictated his path, redrawing itself with each dawn, unveiling secrets both wondrous and terrifying. Today, however, Elias felt a quiet shift within himself, a settling of purpose, a resolve that tethered him firmly to the weighty responsibility before him. As the sun ascended, casting long shadows across the land, Elias carefully rolled the map and secured it within his weathered leather satchel. Each fold carried the echoes of countless footsteps, his own, and those of explorers long vanished into the mists of history. He knew the map was far from finished with him. Its shifting lands held mysteries yet to be uncovered, and dangers that lurked just beyond the edge of sight. Turning from the outcrop, Elias made his way down to the camp where Lena Dawes and Professor Harun Malik awaited. Around a crackling fire, the two were deep in quiet conversation, their faces flickering in the warm glow of the flames. Lena's sharp eyes caught his approach, and a subtle smile touched her lips. "Morning, Elias," she said, her voice steady yet carrying the faintest trace of relief. "You look like you've made some peace with it." Elias nodded, settling beside her. I think I'm ready to accept what this map means to me and to the world." Professor Malik nodded thoughtfully, his graying beard catching the firelight. "It's a rare clarity, this acceptance. Many would shy away from such a daunting responsibility. But not you," Elias replied softly. "I can't turn away now. The map chose me for a reason, and I must be its guardian, not just for myself, but for all who might be affected by its power. The night deepened around them, the air cooling as stars began to pierce the velvet sky. Their conversation drifted across memories and hopes, the quiet camaraderie a balm against the relentless uncertainty of their journey. Elias knew the future was unwritten, the map's next transformation unpredictable, but for the first time in a long while, a spark of hope kindled within him. Later, inside his tent, Elias unrolled the map once more under the flickering light of a lantern. His fingers traced the newly revealed paths, delicate lines shimmering and morphing with a life of their own. Outside, the wind whispered against the canvas walls, carrying the scent of impending rain, a reminder that change was constant and inevitable. He paused, his mind racing through the possibilities. The map now hinted at lands lost to time, civilizations buried beneath shifting sands, truths that could reshape the world's understanding of itself. The path ahead promised discovery and danger in equal measure. Elias closed his eyes, steeling himself for the trials yet to come. This was no longer merely a quest for knowledge, but a solemn duty to protect a power that could alter the course of history. He was ready to face whatever the map revealed next. At dawn's edge the following day, Elias stood once more at the boundary where the land itself seemed to breathe and shift. The horizon melted and reformed in waves of stone and soil, the colors of the sky bleeding into the earth in a surreal tapestry. The living map pulsed quietly in his satchel, a heartbeat that echoed his own. With a determined breath, Elias stepped forward into the unknown, the promise of new beginnings unfolding with each uncertain step. The endless pursuit of truth was far from over, it had only just begun. And as the world around him shifted and breathed, so too did the resolve within his heart, steady and unyielding, a beacon against the ever-changing tides.